It was supposed to be just another Saturday night MLS match. Inter Miami hits the road, the stadium is packed. But when that final whistle blew, there was really only one name on everybody's lips. And it wasn't because of something incredible he did on the field, it's because he wasn't even there. So the final score against Charlotte FC, a 0-0 draw. I mean, sure, it's a respectable result on the road, I guess. But let's be honest, it wasn't the blockbuster event that thousands of fans paid good money to see. And it immediately kicked off the one question on everyone's mind. Right, where on earth was Lionel Messi? This was a game just crying out for one of his signature moments of magic to break the deadlock. And instead, his absence became the biggest story of the night. And just so we're all clear, he wasn't just taking a breather on the sidelines. He was left out of the matchday squad completely. No jersey, no warm-up, absolutely zero chance of coming on. This was a deliberate choice, and it sent a very, very clear message. So what was going on? Well, this wasn't some last-minute injury or a surprise illness. This was a choice, a calculated move that put long-term ambitions way ahead of a single league match. This was all about strategy, not spectacle. And when you look at the team's schedule, it all starts to make sense. Just look at this. On Wednesday, Messi played a full, grueling 90 minutes in the Champions Cup. Then you have this MLS game on Saturday. And then, the really critical part, the second leg of that cup tie is coming up next Wednesday. That kind of turnaround is just brutal for any player.
And here you have it, the official word right from assistant coach Javier Mascherano. He flat out called it a collective decision. The coaching staff looked at the whole picture. They saw that high-stakes, must-win game on the horizon, and they made the tough call to save their most important player for that fight.
But don't think for a second that just because Messi wasn't there, the game was boring. Oh, not at all. The pressure was intense, and you could feel it boil over right there on the sidelines. So get this, we're in stoppage time, right? The game is on a knife's edge. The head coach, Mascherano, he steps just a tiny bit outside his technical area, something you see coaches do 100 times a game, and bam, the referee whips out 2 yellow cards, one right after the other, and just like that, the coach is sent off. A pure moment of absolute frustration. So what did the team have to say about it? Well, according to the assistant coach, the ref was just being too sensitive. They felt Mascherano was just doing his job, coaching with passion in a really high-pressure moment. It's a perfect snapshot of the tension that was running through this entire match, even without its main star. Okay, so resting Messi, the drama on the sidelines, it all points back to the big picture, doesn't it? This was a major gamble. It was all about sacrificing one game for a shot at a much, much bigger prize. And this really breaks down why they'd make that choice. Think about the MLS season like a marathon. It's a long haul, right? You can afford to stumble here and there. But the Champions Cup, that's a sprint. It's a high-stakes knockout tournament where one bad night and you're done. You're going home. And here it is, straight from the coach's mouth. This isn't just some other trophy. The Champions Cup is the one major piece of hardware that the club is missing. That's the ultimate goal. And like he says, it's generating a lot of excitement for everyone involved. So when you boil it all down, the takeaway is pretty clear. Inter Miami made a bold, strategic choice. They looked at their season, they identified the Champions Cup as their #1 priority, and they were willing to sacrifice a league match to keep their superstar fresh. It was a risk, for sure, but a very calculated one, all for a shot at that historic trophy. Which, of course, leaves us with the million-dollar question. They rolled the dice. They sacrificed league points for a shot at glory in the cup. Was it the right call? We're about to find out if this massive gamble pays off, or if it's a decision they'll end up regretting.